There is great economic disparity in the Philippines. As of 2022, there are over 5.6 million Filipino families living in poverty. Lack of employment opportunities also exacerbated the situation. About 2.18 million were unemployed in November 2022. This precarious position of job insecurity and increasing poverty limits opportunities to have a good livelihood. As such, hunger and malnutrition has not only continued, it has increased. In a survey conducted by the SWS in the last quarter of 2021, around 2.5 million Filipino families experienced hunger. The number only increased as of last October 2022. A total of 2.9 million Filipino families remained hungry. Last 2020, the Human Development Report conducted by the United Nations Development Program ranked the country 107th out of 189 countries. More than 3 million children in the Philippines have stunted growth, and 618,000 children are classed as wasted, defined by the World Health Organization as low weight for height, which usually occurs due to lack of adequate food or prolonged illnesses. The COVID pandemic has only made the situation worse. The pandemic has led to health and economic crises, which increased poverty and hunger. 62.1% of Filipino households experienced moderate to severe food insecurity during 2020. Not helping matters was the community quarantine implemented in March 2020 as an effort to halt the spread of COVID. Due to the quarantine, most work shut down. As job opportunities continued to decline during the pandemic, most Filipinos could not work to buy food. One of the sectors hit hard by the pandemic was the fisherfolk. The lockdowns also included bans on fishing on the sea, which is a lifeline for many fishermen in the Philippines. The fishers' dire living condition parallels the hardships they experience at sea. They face inhospitable weather in the open waters, being beaten by the scorching sun during the dry season, or the fury of the sea during the monsoon, and the cold nights while separated from their families for days or weeks. Their sole consolation is that they can bring home enough fish catch for their families to survive for a week or two until they go out to the sea again. Now that the quarantine restrictions have lifted, fisherfolk face another challenge in the West Philippine Sea.
Kayo inangwangan.
Go!
An estimated 10 million Filipinos depend on the fishing industry, as our total national fish catch is 4.25 million metric tons of fish every year. Next to rice, fish is the country's staple food. The West Philippine Sea was and remains to be an important fishing ground in the Philippines, with substantial contribution to the national economy and to the social and economic well-being of coastal communities along its margins, and even beyond its geographical extent. The WPS is composed of living shallow coral reefs with extensive marine biodiversity that support productive fisheries. Particularly, Scarborough Shoal, or Panatag Shoal, within the West Philippine Sea, is a popular traditional fishing ground within the exclusive economic zone of the country. Scarborough Shoal could produce as much as 31 metric tons of fish per square kilometer of coral reef per year. Healthy coral reef areas closer to the mainland could produce between 15 to 20 metric tons per square kilometer per year.
Maganda po ang kondom, kalakaran ng mga nakukuha, at saka maraming isda. Mamili ka kung gusto mo. Marami pang naglalangoyan ng mga kahit na mababaw lang, marami talaga.
The Chinese encroachment and blockade in the West Philippine Sea, particularly in Scarborough Shoal, threatens their livelihood, despite winning an arbitral award affirming that, under UNCLOS, the Philippines can exclusively exploit the natural resources in the West Philippine Sea without interference from any other coastal state. Chinese entities still harass Filipino fishermen and deny their resources.
Sa parting southwest po ng Baho di Masinloc, may masikip po na lagusan doon papasok sa loob. Kaya doon po kami lumulusot kung minsan para mangawil po doon sa loob ng Baho de Masinloc. Ngunit kung nakita po kami ng Chinese Coast Guard, hinahabol po kami ng rubber boat at sinasabihan po kami ng no fishing inside. Yun po ang sabi sa amin. Ang ginagawa po namin, dahil sa sobrang takot po namin, lumalabas na lang po kami.
Ang dalawang rubber boat na lalabas. Siguradong makalabas. O ayan, ayan. O ayan yung Pinoy. O ayan yung dalawang rubber boat. Inaabangan pa talaga. Nagtaboy sa kanilang dalawang rubber boat palabas.
The impact on the fishermen was not only economical, it has left scars, both physical and mental. Ka Delphin Igana shares with us his story.
Punta kami doon, kinuha nila, punta na, wala na. Kung kinuha ko yung mga bangko, wala sa akin. Kinuha na nila yung mga bangko, yung mga wala nila sa akin, wala na.
After the Chinese grabbed his things on the boat, Ka Delphin suffered a stroke. He can no longer go to the sea to provide for his family.
Saan ho bang masakit dyan?
Ito, sir. Ito.
Hindi niya maigalaw?
Ito, sir. Ito na. Mga ganyan, konti-konti na siya.
Kumusta naman yung paanin niya?
Siya na, ito lang par, itong pa ko. Hindi pa. Kulang pa ito par. Ang ko pa ako, sir. Ayos na konti, oh.
Sabi niya po, lalakas lang ako. Balik pa ako doon. Talo sila sa akin yan, sabi po niya eh. Kunin pa daw niya yung pana niya. Magpagaling ka, sabi ko sa kanya, para makasama ka sa kalburo, alis na naman sila.
Another fisherman suffering the effects of the lockdown and the harassment of the Chinese Coast Guard is Ronnie Dimasukan. He lives in a makeshift hut, located 154 miles from Scarborough Shoal. He alone takes care of his 3 children. His wife is in a public hospital, taking care of the other 2 who are sick with the flu. Ronnie can only afford to cook noodles for his children, as his income is not enough to support his family. He still remembers a time when Scarborough could be fished by Filipinos freely.
Laking kita sa Scarborough. Ito lang. Kasi mga isla ng lapu-lapu, sa bato, mahal ang isla. O tangigi. Ang problema. Yarang iharangan na sa China. Ibuwala na.
When the situation grew dire, Fisherfolk had heard from the farmers and indigenous people of Zambales about the People's Development Institute, or PDI. PDI believes in asset reform and rural development and envisions self-reliant communities to people's initiatives. To this end, PDI supports the rights of fisherfolk to access our resources within our maritime regimes. PDI appraised the situation and realized what was at stake. Together with the fisherfolk, they formed Big Kiss, or Unity. One of the earliest activities conducted was a seminar on fishermen's rights, held by Professor J. Batongbakal of the University of the Philippines. Talks were also had with the University of the Philippines Clinical Education Program to discuss the legal actions the fishermen can do during their ongoing struggle. Livelihood programs and economic enterprises were also established in order to uplift their situation, to ensure that they have the means to support themselves. Non-formal education initiatives, as well as alternative learning programs were also introduced to build fisherfolk's individual capacities and to strengthen their family's future.
Germany was able to fund this project in order to make this education project possible. The alternative learning system. I hope that really that you will take it with you for the time to come and for the future, because it will help you to be more independent and more self-conscious. And I think that's the most important thing that teachers can teach you. So let me also thank the teachers for your efforts, for your work. And once again, congratulations to all the learners, and thank you so much for having us today.
Salamat po ako sa PDI dahil
Kami po yung utang magturo para sa mga bata. Proud po ako sa estudyante ko po kasi madali po silang matuto kahit yung iba po pasaway. Gusto ko pa po sana silang matulungan at matuloy po yung pag-aaral nila para magkabit po nila ang kanilang mga pangarap. Lalo na po yung balang mga yun lang.
One of the activities PDI has done was to initiate and sponsor a dialogue between the government's line agencies and Big Kiss to sort out issues and develop cooperation. In one meeting, they have met with Francis Hardeleza, former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, Captain Peter de Guzman of the Philippine Navy, and Attorney Rudolph Desiano of the Bureau of Fisheries to discuss the ongoing challenges the fisherfolk face during this time.
Sa lahat po ng hanay ng mayoridad ng mga naghihirap sa Pilipinas, sila po ang pinakamahirap. Mula po noong pumasok ang China sa West Philippine Sea, naramdaman na po nila ang kaharasan at matinding intimidasyon na ginagawa ng mga Chino sa kanila. At ang paghina ng kanilang mga huli, kasama na nito ang pagbaba ng kanilang income. At dahil dito, sunod-sunod na po ito. Nagkautang na sila sa tindahan, nawalan na sila ng pambili ng mga pagkain dapat sapat sa kanilang pamilya. At lalong-lalo na ho, wala na silang pera para tugunan ang kanilang pangkalusugan. Pati na po ang edukasyon ng kanilang mga anak. Kung kaya sana, yung ating mga kasama, pati sa coastguard, sa Navy, magtulong-tulong po tayo para maprotektahan ang ating mga palaisdaan o yung ating karagatan.
PDI has helped improve the lives of the Big Kiss fisherfolk. However, the fisherfolk still have a long way to go. The government must still increase their efforts to support our fisherfolk and defend our rights to the sea.